a brown cow, eat green grass, and give you white milk. But if you think that's something, God's chemical laboratory of redemption took my black soul and dipped it in red blood. And I came out white as snow. Oh! The angels. Yes, sir. Come on, Zion. The angels in heaven done sign my name. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Hey, Lord. My brother got it.
Somebody say, Jesus brought the sunshine. Jesus brought the sunshine. Jesus brought the sunshine. Jesus brought the You made my day. You came my way. You heard me every time I pray. You gave me peace. You gave me grace. What else did he do? You put a smile upon my face. You brought the sunshine in my life. Throughout the lifeline. Throughout the lifeline. Saved my life. Throughout the lifeline. Since then I have found Christ. There has been such a change in my Can I get a witness? Anybody know Jesus? Won't he make a difference in your life? I'm a witness. Can I get a witness? Anybody know Jesus? Won't he make a difference in your life? I'm a witness. Can I get a witness? Do you know Jesus? Won't he make a difference in your life? I'm a witness. Can I get a witness? Do you know Jesus? Won't he make a difference? Hey! I'm wondering, do I have any witnesses in here? Sopranos, are you a witness? I'm a witness that Jesus will make a difference in your life. I'm a witness. Yeah. That Jesus will make a difference in your life. Will make a difference. Come on, Al, tell us what you got. I'm a witness that Jesus will make a difference in your life.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDD.
Well, when I get the rest of my seat,
Let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
Jenny, did you get? Hey, y'all.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey. Oh wait, stop! Look at Jenny's top teeth.
Oh wow, they look
Listen, when
amazing.
I get the bottom, Thursday is gonna be on.
Let me
I
see.
told y'all my new name is gonna be Smiley.
Let me see again. Y'all look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Oh
Do they
wow.
come out, Janet, and go in the jar at night, or they just stay in the whole time?
All you need to know is my new name is Smiley.
Oh wow, they
And so
look.
you're getting the bottom ones on Thursday, you said?
Yeah.
And they gonna pull
Oh.
them all out and put new teeth in. You don't care. So will you be talking like this when you take them out? Y'all can't see us, but you know,
Like this.
Janet, it makes it.
Brenda's trying to show off her skills otherwise, but I
But you know
tell
what though?
you,
But those are, you know what? You just
I'm just saying, she's a great actress and she can
hey,
do
hey, y'all,
impersonations.
hey, y'all. You know what? I need y'all to hit that share. They're gonna run us off the radio if we don't start sharing. Now I need
SHARE.
that's
Share.
share it because we're gonna have some good stuff. But you
Hit
know,
like and share so other people can
yeah.
see and hear us
Mm-hmm.
as we discuss and invite you to join us in discussions as
And
Mm-hmm.
well.
share it now.
What's phone number for them to call
Oh,
in?
478-250-1444. Again, that is area code 478-250-1444.
And they can call in right now
They
because
y'all
can.
we are live.
live, and you know what? Henry at home. You know, Henry was a little sick last week, and I want to thank. I didn't tell y'all that he was a little sick. He had to be hospitalized, and I appreciate all the prayers and things like that that people do to keep him lifted up and things like that. And I just appreciate everything that everybody do, and I just want to thank you. I appreciate you. Um, that's an awesome thing that you do, and I just, like I said, thank you because you don't have to. You can be stingy with your prayers now.
Mm.
Mhm.
People are stingy with their prayers. They
Well, I
don't.
need everybody to pray for Jimmy. He had a job interview today.
All right,
Yes.
Jimmy.
So he interviewed for the middle school
Okay.
teacher, band director at Weaver.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
So I need y'all to send lots and lots and lots of prayers, and we got our fingers crossed that he gets this position.
Absolutely,
He is
because
such
he
a
is
he is
prepared.
such a nice guy.
He's prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice guy part is great, but professionally, he is prepared.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of people that got jobs on their personalities because they're nice and all that. But
Hmm.
this guy is nice, grant you,
He
but
is.
he is a professional and he is prepared. He is very meticulous and he will be a great teacher because he was a great learner. He knew how to receive, and that proves more oftentimes to be a person that knows how to disseminate knowledge. So
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to him getting this job.
Yes, me
Me too.
too.
Me
Me
too.
too.
And let me just say this. If you're listening out there, because I know Tina and Linda and Pearlie and we got some other folk who always
Sheila,
Sheila and what's it, Reginald?
the Crawford
Hmm.
boy,
The Crawford,
Crawford,
you
yeah,
call him boy. I ain't calling him boy because I
boys.
work,
That's how
because
men
I
do.
be over there,
Crawford boys,
because I
man.
be over there at the courthouse. I call him boy. He may hit me on the side of my head
Nah,
because
that
he
man
real
is a gentleman.
tall.
He's not that kind
He
of
is
guy.
really, really nice. I
Don't
think
start those
I
rumors
like him.
because people catch on to stuff like that, and
Hmm.
you know
And
what
they
I
be going
mean.
out. But I just want to ask y'all a question before because we have like two segments and stuff. I want to ask you a question.
Hmm.
Okay. I watched what I heard was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Now, let me start out with prayers for the people, the families who were deceased and got
Hmm.
injured. So, by no means
Hmm.
am I throwing any kind of shade on people who lost their life because any loss of life is too much.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Johnny? It's too much. It's I mean, that's just what it is. However, let's talk about what would you call it? The thing surrounding the event.
The details surrounding the event.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now,
there are a lot of theories about what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of things that happened that does not make any sense
Sense
at
whatsoever.
all. Like, for instance, I have never seen gunfire go into a crowd. The crowd knows that there's gunfire coming into the crowd,
And nobody
and nobody
does
moves.
or runs.
And here's another, not the other, because there's plenty of them. Here's another one to think on. Okay, so they all dived on the president, right? Everybody dived and covered him up. Then they stood him up and opened his body to the camera so he could pump his fist. Now, if somebody just shot at the potential president,
How come they didn't run him off?
rush him into the
That's right.
car, or have a plan to rush him underground off the stage's platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they stood him up so he could have a "I shall return" moment. That makes no sense to me at all.
Right.
Why would you stand him up and open him up to another person with a rifle or a gun or
Mm-hmm.
whatever they had? Because how were they to know if they didn't know that one person was out there to shoot? How could they know there wasn't another person? So why would you stand him up so he could look directly into the camera
Mm-hmm.
and seem to say "fight" or something with
Yeah.
the F
I am
word?
victorious.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That just those two things make no sense
Well,
to me at all.
well,
Mhm.
it makes no sense. But the real thing to me, I don't know about you, but I grew up and I'm from Pleasant Hill, seriously, and I mean, I basically, and we grew up with, my mama said, anytime you hear a bullet, you supposed to crawl on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that what ain't that what you heard?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mama said, if you in a crowd and you hear a bullet, she said you supposed to duck down, and she said, and then even then, if a bullet go up, it can come down. So she's always like,
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to say this. That's the logical thing to do. We all know that you're supposed to hit the ground, but let's just speak in general. What do most people do when they hear gunfire? They take out running, right?
Yes.
yeah.
How have you ever seen people? There was 5 gunshots, so they said. Nobody moved.
I
saw
never
that
seen that.
before in my
Nobody
life.
moved. Nobody took off running. Nobody hit the ground. They stood there with their cameras recording.
Man.
And now
So
yeah.
it's fake. It's we have to wake up as Americans, just as human beings, and understand that the things that go bump in the night exist. I tell people all the time, the way that a conspiracy is a conspiracy, but they want to say, oh, conspiracy theorists are crazy. That's the biggest conspiracy, is to make you think conspiracies don't exist.
Yeah.
You have to understand there are such things as crisis actors. These people are trained professionals that they put into situations that they orchestrate, and they're called crisis actors. They're good at what they do. They know how to stage a suicide attempt. Because what I do know for sure, I don't know about you all. I have military people in my family. I know people that have worked black ops, etc. If you are attempting to assassinate the president and you got close enough to nick his ear, that bullet should have penetrated his brain.
Oh yeah, no doubt
Okay?
about it.
No doubt about it. If there was a true assassination attempt and it got that close, and there were 5 shots, according to him, according to them, there was 5 shots that rang out. One of them nicked his ear, but nobody behind him got shot. Nobody in front of him got
somebody
shot.
behind him did get shot.
Did directly behind him?
My mama said, my 90-year-old mama, okay. My mama called me on the phone. This is real talk. Mama said, y'all know my mama Berina curses. So when I say this, just know that my mom, this is my mama. My mama said, yeah. Said Trump hit so hard that the bullet couldn't even penetrate. It just went past it. Now that's what my mama said.
Oh Lord.
My mama said that's why he didn't get shot, because she said the bullet wouldn't.
A guy that got hit,
the guy was behind it.
But he wasn't directly behind him.
I think the way it kind of like ricocheted off, I don't know how, I don't know. It might have ricocheted, but I think it was I don't know. The person that died got the bullet that was
But
meant
we've all, what I'm saying is we got to be practical. We've all watched the video, I'm sure, multiple times.
Right.
Did
right.
you see anybody behind him? You're saying that they said the guy was behind him. Did you see anybody fall?
By the way,
Anybody go down?
No, I didn't either.
Anybody say, "Oh my God, this person just got shot"? According to what we see, we don't. They're telling us this. They're saying this guy got shot, but there is not a one-hand account witness that can say, I was standing next to the guy that got shot. I was behind the guy that got shot. I was around the guy that got shot. They're just telling us that this young man got shot and lost his life. But there's not one firsthand account that said that I saw the man go down next to me.
Now, I can say that girl, the young lady, Tina Secret Service was ordered off Wish.
She said that Secret Service was ordered off Wish. Horrible acting. It was ordered off Temu.
Wow.
It was Temu.
It was Temu, honey.
Oh, girl, they ain't paid but $5 for it. They went to Temu.
And the other thing, like, we gotta lay this stuff out. Like, you mean the Secret Service is supposed to secure every building on that property? They should have people in every building, at every stop, on the roofs, etc. This is normal protocol, right? How is it that where they say this guy shot President Trump or attempted to shoot President Trump, this building was on the same property of the rally itself? So how is it that there was no Secret Service anywhere on or near around this building, and somebody was able to climb on top of the building, set up, and shoot at it?
By the way, not only that, now he climbed on top of the building and he had a gun.
But and here's the thing: nobody saw him climb up the building, get up there, get perched, and shoot. But all of a sudden, the Secret Service jumped. Saw, oh, there's somebody up on the building. Look. And then they got him up there, or they all pounced on the top of the building, right, and shot him.
But it just don't make no. Secret Service lady got in front. Oh yeah, talk about it, Frida. Talk about that Secret Service lady that got in front, and she and you were like, what was she doing?
Nothing. Looked like crisis acting, playing.
Look like like Deputy Dog up there, and I'm like, that was embarrassing. Yeah. I was like, she was just like, well, where's my gun?
Yeah.
Well, where's and. I don't know where it at. I'm looking for it. She back there patting and everything. And then when he got that, when he was getting in the van, Johnny, when he was getting in that.
Oh.
Remember that? He up there fixed bumping.
The classic. Now, and we all know what the protocol is. If that was a real situation, they would have literally ran that man off that stage so quick, got him in that car, and that car would have been gone.
It would have been.
How is it that he managed to do a fist pump 3 separate times? He stopped. You could see them trying to push him.
They opened his body up for the camera to see him.
Exactly.
If you just got the president shot at, your job is to protect his life with your life.
Right.
Why would you stand him up so everybody can get a good look at him again going, yeah, fight, or whatever he said? You're supposed to be rushing him into the car.
Bubblegum.
The bulletproof car.
Bubblegum in a dish. I mean,
and there is a thing called witness protection program.
Where there you go. See, that's where I'm headed.
Where you take folk that you tell folk, hey, they dead, but they ain't dead.
They ain't dead. There you go.
They just moved them to Montana or moved them to
I don't know
Mexico.
what they did.
I don't know what they did. All I know is that it doesn't make sense that if you just had an assassination attempt to stand him up and open him up to the cameras.
And then
the part I'm like,
and even if he wanted to be opened up to the camera,
they supposed to be rushing him.
They
to
were
the
supposed
car.
to push him in the car, knock him in the head or whatever like that. I mean, you could see the back of that bald spot where he had that hair he'd been coming over. So I did see that. But I'm like, they need to have taken him and just put him in the car. Now all I can say is,
and then the one last look out the car, he was just like,
remember that time that Ronald Reagan got shot?
That makes no sense.
Remember when Ronald that got shot?
Well, I was a little.
But I can, Johnny, you remember when Ronald Reagan?
I was a little boy.
Well, let me just tell you, they took Ronald Reagan and threw him in that car. It was none of that like fist bump, holding hands, nothing. No. They threw him in the car and that thing give whoop. and it went off like that. He
Mm-hmm.
was like playing around with it. I'm like, he act like he knew wasn't nothing wrong with him. And by the way, and the crowd act like they knew wasn't nothing happening either.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they weren't running. I'm telling you, if they, all I can say, if it had been black folk and they seen blood, it would have been a stampede.
Well, and here's the other thing too.
Oh
When
yeah.
Reagan got shot, though, if I remember correctly, when Reagan got shot, people did duck and people did start to scatter. Now nobody took up because the person that shot him was in close range, so it wasn't like shots was pop, 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 and you hear it. The first reaction, in black or white, doesn't matter what you are. Your first reaction is either to hit the ground, but most people are gonna start running. Period. You're gonna start running, don't matter what your color is. So with Reagan, the guy was up on Reagan when he got shot. So a lot of people,
Hinckley.
Yeah.
right, a lot of people didn't know what was going on because he was so close to him when he did it. But we're talking about a dude that shot a rifle from yards away. You could hear the pop, pop, pop. But what I'm saying is nobody moved.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Did y'all call on Tim Scott?
Oh Lord.
You know what? You real low down, Tina. We probably should check on Tim Scott. Because Tim Scott got him a wife. He got engaged and stuff because he thought he was going to be the VP. So I know he cried. I want to know when he going to get married to that girl. You know what? Tim Scott looked just like the guy on Fat Albert. What the little guy name on Fat Albert? You know the one I'm talking about on Fat Albert cartoon.
Frida, I don't understand why they just stood there and looked either. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Because it is made up. They did not know what was going on because it wasn't real. It was
real.
staged. That's
and,
why.
And then it was up there just like, I'm telling you, I would have been getting out of there because if it was one, it was two. That's the way I think. If it's one, it's two. It's two, it's three.
Lord
I got
knows
to go.
I'm not trying to be insensitive to if that person or persons did get shot.
No,
I'm not trying
horrible.
to be insensitive
Right,
to
absolutely.
that. All I'm saying is that if your job is to protect this man's life,
right,
and somebody shot at him, and you're saying you're confirmed that somebody shot at him, and then you jump on stage, you cover his body up to shield him from further harm,
Right.
then you stand him up and let him pose for the camera. You should have been taking that man, putting him in the car. That I don't get it.
If you go back and watch, because I'm that type of person. I done scrutinize this video. If you go back when he gets to the edge of the steps, you could see them trying to push him. Now it was 5 guys. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and the female.
Yeah.
They're trying to push him. Now you mean to tell me 5 strong Secret Service men and women can't get one man off the stage? He was like pushing against them, like, no, I have to do my fist pump one last time.
Yeah.
Now come on.
And then
Y'all couldn't get that man off the stage. It's 5 of y'all and 1 of him.
And by the way, and then you're gonna turn around and you think that shows strength. He didn't even fight in the military. You know what I'm saying? He's never been to war up there doing a fist bump. Now, if we really want to have a conversation, that particular ex-president never. In fact, he dodged the draft. He pretended like he had some bone spur or something like that. And neither have his son been to war either. So,
Frida said if it was us, we would have scattered. You absolutely right.
You ain't
like roaches.
Frida, we'd have been on the ground. We'd have been the low crawlers. We'd have been like trying to get out the way. We'd be like, no, baby, I got to move.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, he had bone spurs. You right. That's what I'm saying. He up there like he all of that and everything. Child, I bet if you
Frida said, bet if you would have took that hair off, he would have left.
Child, because it almost came off because I see that big old bald spot he had in the back. I said, oh, he wasn't talking about that. Come over. And then, too, let me ask you something. You done been shot at. You talking about wear my shoes? Who you think care about some shoes?
Yeah, it's
all the money you got and you worry about your Stacey Adams.
They'll come back and say that's some kind of shock reaction.
There wasn't no shock
or
reaction.
something like that. So they have a plausible excuse for that. Again, don't tell people. If what I'm saying is, if your job is to protect this guy, he gets a shot at. You jump up and cover his
Yeah.
body with your body. Then you stand up and open his body up for the camera to take this shot of him pumping his fist. Why wouldn't you immediately rush this man into the car? That's all I'm saying. It
And
makes no sense.
it makes no sense to me either, because it seems like to me that's what they needed to do, was to put him in the car.
And I have another question. And if you guys are listening, maybe you can answer. Maybe you can send me, or send it to the show, post it or whatever. I have not seen any pictures of the two people that they said were injured. The two additional people. Have you guys?
I've not seen
They
anything.
identified the shooter, or who they said the shooter was. They showed pictures. She said the toupee was extra tight that day. um, they identified the shooter, but they haven't identified the two people that they say were injured. Now that's unusual, because now we're talking about, what was that, 3 or 4 days ago? At this point,
It may be that they're trying to take in, deal with their next of kin. But what I can say with that, part of that is what Joe Biden has done, and they better understand it. They're getting ready to like dig just like we digging, and they're asking the same type of questions.
mm-hmm,
So, and what they have is resources to get the answer.
mm-hmm.
So it is my hope and prayer that this was not a set, and that it was not a fake.
And so let me ask you this too. Let's go a little bit deeper. So if it actually was fake, if it was a fake or a staged assassination attempt, what do you think his motive behind it? Do you think it's to garner more attention, more sympathy, more what? I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh, it was Project 25. It was to get the conversation off of Project 25, because that's all people have been talking about, is
Mm-hmm.
Because they already locked up R. Kelly. They don't have Michael Jackson to be a distraction anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They've already locked up Bill Cosby. They can't talk about the OJ thing anymore. So,
And not only, but
Look, somebody said Kevin Costner did a better job on The Bodyguard.
yeah, child, he protected Whitney Houston. That's real talk. He did, though, because people, I've been doing like research, because y'all don't know it, but I'm just maybe y'all do know I'm just a real nerd and stuff like that. And I did not see the level of protection
Mm-hmm.
that I expect to see from Secret Service. Now, let me just say, I do believe that ex-President Trump was a very difficult person to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
He think he know everything. I would not want to ever be on his security detail, because enough is never enough, and he think he know more than the people who are actually doing it. So perhaps that was part of the problem too, is that he selected his own people to be on his Secret Service. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
trust Joe Biden assigning him anybody, so he got the people that he wanted. Which, if that's the case, that he got some substandard people.
they say one of them was climbing the wall where the gunman was.
Right. Yeah.
The gunman turned, saw him, and the agent said, "I ain't gonna get shot," and jumped off the.
Now, who said?
No,
Yeah, that's
seriously.
some
Let's say
internet. That's
he-
some internet stuff.
No, it's not. It was on the news that on Scripps News, on CBS, on NBC, on ABC, on Fox.
Uh-huh.
Said the agent had climbed up, pulled up. The gunman turned and saw him, and the director, or manager, whatever in the FBI said, he did what anybody else would have done.
Mm-hmm.
He ducked back down, to save self-preservation.
I mean, I guess, yeah, that
Then
makes
the shots
sense.
went.
Yeah.
As soon as he did that, then the shots went off.
But you know what?
Almost like he was saying, "Go ahead."
It's just
But you know
all
what?
I'm saying is,
Look.
But
they
when
jumped on the man, they
Look.
covered him up to save his life, and all of a sudden, you stand this dude up, and he poses for the camera with a clear. If anybody else is there with a gun, a sniper, they got a clear shot again. Why would you stand him up and let him get in front of this camera and do the fist pump instead of
I don't
rush
even
this
know.
man to
But
the car?
if we have
That's
some,
where I am.
if we have some police officers out there who do this on the regular, please, call in. We'd love to hear from you. And that number is 478-250-1444. Again, that number is I mean, it's 478-250-1444. You,
Okay, Tina said, when I went to Obama's first inauguration, I zoomed my camera in and held my hand in the air, and the sniper was looking dead at me. I have it on camera. This was a hoax that used this man as collateral damage. I agree.
you want to know something? And that's something serious.
See, I didn't want to get into the collateral damage part, but
It's
certainly
true.
that
Yeah.
came across my mind.
Absolutely.
But they can explain away everything. It's to me except if you dived on top of this man, sacrificing your body to save his life because you didn't want him open to another gunshot. Why stand him up and let him face the camera and
and that's
pump his
crazy.
fist?
And
Now
that's crazy.
gonna be my point to the end of
No,
time.
my point to the end of time is, did nobody run?
Yeah, that's what I
mean,
keep saying.
I'm just telling you that I know that if it had been, I mean, if
And here's
somebody
the
started
thing.
shooting, folks scatter.
Scatter.
They
I
scatter
agree with
and
you
they
1,000%.
They run.
But they were shooting at Trump.
But it
So
doesn't-
why would you stand him up and let him face the camera?
that's
He's
crazy.
more of a concern than the people running or not.
But you know
why
what?
would you stand
But
him
it,
up?
it was
I don't
almost as
get it.
if they were up there looking. Now let me just tell
I
you,
don't get
either they SLOW and ride the little bus or something like that. But if I hear some gunshots, I'm moving. Okay, I ain't gonna be nowhere around. They're gonna probably hit me in the field because I'm gonna be running.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be
You
in
know,
the field.
I'm gonna do. I mean,
Sign her up for the Olympics.
I ain't kidding. I ain't lying because I'm gonna be moving. They ain't
Well,
gonna
they
see
don't. I think
Hey,
after
Emily, that's that 5% Negro she got in her.
right. That's right. That's that little 5%.
She get across that yard.
Right. She gonna fall though, because the Caucasian in her she'll fall.
She'll trip up sooner or later.
Right.
Well, y'all can talk all that mess if you want to, but let me tell you, the Caucasian and the Negroid in me. If I'd have heard some gunshots, all of us would have been on the ground.
Emily,
Okay.
Emily. What's going on?
Right.
What? Did you hear something?
Did you? Right. Oh my God! Let's go check and see.
Yeah.
Let's run towards the danger.
Which direction did it come from?
Right. Hey guys, let's go see.
We're gonna put a stop to this.
Right.
Oh, I think I'll just take out my gun. And oh, by the way, I'm just saying, and I'm bringing it out. I do want us, our listeners to understand it's very, very important that you vote. It's very, very important that you understand issues and you not get caught up into the okie doke. Last week we talked a little about Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you, nobody is talking about it now, but understand that particular incident has nothing to do with Project 2025. Get this now. Nothing.
Oh no.
No, it's not going to change Project 2025. Project 2025 is just that.
Well, no, people are actually still talking about it, and I think this is where these little stunts, that
It
Trump
enhances
did,
the chances of it.
Well, I
to
think
me.
what it is they people are more intelligent than what the government gives them credit for.
I sure hope so.
And because we have, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because we have access to knowledge and information. Now, this could have probably went over well about 20 or 25 years ago. We all would have been sitting in our living rooms like, oh my gosh. But in 2024, we have access to so much stuff that people now have been jaded. And it's like, no, that's not true. No, that is not how that's supposed to go. Now, we ain't as dumb as you think they are. So people are still talking about 2025. At least they are down, because maybe that's the people I got in my news feed. They're saying, hey guys, let's not forget about Project 2025. This is just a distraction. We all know, and our people are literally saying this is the general consensus. I would say about 85% are saying we all know that this was staged. I haven't met one person yet that said, I believe that this was a genuine attempt on his life.
And the unfortunate one is, for me, is that there are, that people lost their life.
What Tina said? Tina said, I'm voting blue even if they call code blue. Biden 2024.
Lord help. TD Brown.
TD. Lord. All right. Woo!
But so what I was saying. People are really intelligent, though. Really, they really are.
Oh, you gonna roll
And
today, TV.
ain't nobody. We ain't stopped talking about Project 2025.
Project,
They thought that this was gonna be a
no,
distraction, but
no.
I think he feels like this was going to work in his favor. Now it does have people talking about him, but not in the way that he thought people were going to be talking. Because even my Caucasian friends, including Brenda, have been saying that they don't believe it. They're saying that they don't believe this.
And by the way, well, I'll take it. Johnny, by the way, I have a DNA kit coming in for you.
Okay, cool.
Because I know that Emily has got some Caucasian in her, and you got some in you.
She loved to say that. I have like what 6%.
It doesn't matter. You
I'm
still
sure
got
I
some.
do.
And Johnny,
Most of us do. If we over here, most of us
and
got some.
Johnny, I know you got some in you because you can't dance.
Brenda got at least 93%.
I can dance.
You
I
can't
just don't
dance.
like to dance.
Look at that hair growing out her head. It don't
I
even
can
curl up.
dance.
It just grow out straight.
I don't know what makes her think I can't dance.
Cole, we'll never see you dancing.
That's because I charge people to see me dance. You don't get my dancing for free.
You know what? He think he's some Tina because he done got him some new choppers.
Listen,
do that smile again, Johnny.
I do not dance for free.
You know what? I ain't thinking about him.
I can dance. I can do all the little shuffles, all the little moves, all that stuff. I just don't dance.
So you don't ever just let yourself have a good time? Like if you're out somewhere, you don't get out on the dance floor and dance?
I dance in my mind.
You know what? Now, you know what? This ninja trying to be.
No,
Wait a
really,
minute.
I do dance
This
sometimes.
ninja trying to
but
be
it's according to where I
deep.
am.
You know, I can use
I
the
do
word.
dance sometimes.
By the way, I can't use it. I have to ask the station on the regular. Do we get in
My
trouble?
biggest thing is, since we're in
Wait
a
a minute.
world of line dancing
Frida
now,
said,
men and women
Frida,
don't dance
Frida,
together
Frida
no
said,
more.
why don't you
So
dance for her?
I don't
Frida,
want to dance
Frida,
doing the line dance.
Frida.
I like to dance with people.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
Tina, you're right. That's code 5K.
Okay, we'll see about that, TD.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think I've ever met a person that can sing that can't dance. That can at least
dance.
hold a move.
I can dance.
But even Henry can dance. Henry been dancing with me. He was trying to dance.
Frida said a private. She said, "Oh, wait a minute. She wants a private dance from Johnny." Oh my goodness.
Frida,
Okay.
you need to just take an inbox him. Let me give you his phone
Yeah,
number.
because this is getting a little too risque.
Frida, you want his phone number?
Private
It's just being silly
dancing for
now.
money. Do what you want me to do. Ain't that what Tina Turner said? God rest her soul.
Sing it. How you do that last part? Do what you want. She feels a joke.
Do what you want me to do.
Johnny, you gonna be dancing?
Yeah, the practice.
Child, you know what? I think y'all be playing games.
You know, what do they call a dancer for hire?
I don't know. I thought they called them with a woman. I think they call them that garden tool. I don't know. I can't say the word on.
Y'all should be ashamed.
I just asked. It was just a genuine question. Like, what do they call a person that dances for hire? Dances for money.
Just playing. Frida,
that does private dances. I have to let me correct myself.
I know you just playing because if he take that hat off and he throw that hat up in the air like he just don't care. I'm just saying.
I don't know. He may take the hat off and throw a fist pump.
He may throw a fist pump. Cha.
So anyway, this is where we are as a nation. I think it's sad. It's insane that we're even here. Whether it was a hoax or a staged occasion, like this is where we are in 2024, and this is not a good place for our country to be in.
It's not. And the sad part about it is we can't. And I have a conversation with all kind of people. I talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, but it is sad that we let politics divide us like this. We should be able to have a disagreement and then have a drink or whatever. But this business of, you just taking it too far. And I heard Trump's son, the one, the crazy one. And and he said, talking about it's just crazy leftist people that did it. And I'm like, you set up and said it, and that's just awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the crazy leftist people. It's just crazy, period. Nobody should be afraid to walk in the streets, just walking out without and have the fear
Mm-hmm.
of getting shot. And by the way, black males have been doing this forever because we do have,
Mm-hmm.
and this Frida, how Trump got on the plane the next day and did meetings. He should have been at home. Somebody
Well,
put
because they just nicked his ear, so it wasn't anything that he had to like cancel all of his
I
stuff
told
for.
you, my mama said that bullet bounced off his head because his head's so hard. That's what my mama said.
Yeah, I think your mama owned or something, because
Mama said
she may just be right.
She said it bounced off his head. That's what she said.
She said Frida said he should have been home. He ain't gonna go home because he's going to use that publicity, and the people are that are in support of Trump are going to support him even more. This is going to garner more support from the people that already support him. I think the non-supporters is just making, people are just like, okay, that's just Trump being Trump. I think
I don't think this stunt got him any new voters.
No, it did absolutely not.
It did not. In fact, it just really showed to me that we need to strengthen our Secret Service, that they just did a poor job. If I was their boss, all of them would be fired today.
But that's what I'm saying is that they're going to do that is part of what Tina said earlier, collateral damage. Somebody has to take the fall, because you remember these schemes are much bigger than we can ever imagine. This stuff is planned out, so there's no way. These are trained Secret Service agents, and they
well, first of all, they need to be fired.
Maneuvered in the way that they did. Obviously they need to be fired, and they'll probably let them go, or they'll put them on another president's detail.
They don't need to be on nobody's detail. They need to be sitting at a desk. I don't believe in people losing their job, because that's how people eat. So I don't, I have empathy for that, but I do believe there's a little desk job for them. They don't need to be trying to take and offer security to anybody else, because what they did was a poor job.
Or were they told to do that?
I don't know if they were told. I really think, honestly, that they didn't want to push his head down or whatever like that. They just should have been a little bit more aggressive with him, because his life was at stake.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what he wanted, they just should have said no.
Because, and we have to, it's a mess. If I stood right here and you pushed me even a little bit, I'm going to move. Even if I stand my ground and stand real hard, you may have to put a little force, but if you push me hard enough, I'm going to move. Now, imagine if I stood my ground and I had 4 grown men and a female pushing me. Don't you think I'm going to move?
Oh, yeah.
So he had 4 grown men and a female trying to escort him off stage, and you mean to tell me that they weren't able to literally physically pick him up and drag him off stage?
They should have been able to drag him off.
There you go.
And all I'm saying to you is that they need to not have their jobs. And I don't know if it was any conspiracy behind that. I don't know. It just might have been they just really didn't know what they were doing. So, I don't know. I'm going to be praying for our country, praying for our president, praying for everybody involved in politics. I'm just going to pray for everybody. Pray for our mayor, pray for our congressmen, pray for our senators. Just pray, because this country is on a downward spiral, and it is not going to be any particular party that can save it. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about it. The only thing that can save us now is God, the truth be told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, save ourselves. I mean,
yeah.
If he is put into office, and Project 2025 comes out, turns into fruition, rather, comes into fruition, this is a really tough road ahead of us for this country, and obviously it's going to affect the Black and brown people the most, but it's going to affect everybody. And I keep saying this, my main concern is what it's going to do to the Department of Education. That is scary, because that is something that's going to affect the children. And I'm going to say that again. If this Project 2025 comes into fruition, and he dismantles the Department of Education and gives control back to each state, that means that we won't be getting, or the states won't get federal funds, because the government, federal government, gives each state a lot of money when it comes to education, to support education. If they give it back to the states, and the states are responsible for paying their own education, that means teachers' pay is going to get lowered. Administrators' pays are going to get lowered. Superintendents' pays will get
come on.
lowered. That money is going to have to be allocated differently. No more free lunch. And what I suspect will happen, and this is just my assumption, if things go in that direction, public school won't be free anymore. They'll say, you remember, maybe 100, 200 years ago, when boys only went to school to 8th grade and girls only went to school to 3rd grade, and some of the girls didn't go to school at all. So
Well,
it'll throw us back into a time where you may not be able to afford to put your kid in school, because if they give control back to the states and each state controls their own education and there's no more federal funding for it, they won't be able to do
now
that. They won't be able to offer public school for free anymore.
and then not only that, let's just talk about, what I talked with the veterans. I want to say that they're going to be doing some cuts to the veterans. So, and these people have served our country, and they've served our country well. And then their benefits will be affected by Project 2025. And then too, Johnny asked the question last week, well, how does it affect, brown people, black and brown people? Well, Social Security will be affected as well. And the majority of people who receive those type of benefits are black and brown people. So it's going to be disproportionately affected in our community. So it's just a lot of different things, Social Security. Oh, absolutely. And for those of us who get it, we ain't and it may not really affect those of us who are actually receiving it. But Johnny, have you, for those of you that haven't started receiving Social Security, let's say you 60 or whatever, and you're going to receive it. Well, just let them go ahead and get Project 2025 in, and you'll see what happened to some of your benefits. It's nothing to play with, people. And don't be fooled with the education piece. Well, they're doing the education because they don't want to be talking about they don't want to be talking about slavery and black history and da 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 da. Let me tell you something. It's much bigger than slavery and black history.
Right.
She said, right, a lot of people are going to be homeless. And then too, let me just say, when you have a lot of people homeless, you have an increase in crime. Is what you and even when you have people who are not educated, who cannot find jobs, you also have an increase in crime. And I think I might have sent y'all something, last week. I think I sent you something last week. We were talking about crime, that the majority of people who commit, I would just say, like sexual assault crimes and things like that, are white male.
Right. Yeah. And we really need to have a whole show on that. But that was really interesting. We got some statistics. Brenda sent us some statistics that broke down a lot of the imprisonment and a lot of charges. And although the media and will push or create a narrative that black men are the ones that are often prosecuted and given time for sexual assault and crimes of that sort, the truth is actually the exact opposite. I think it was by a huge difference in percentage wise that Caucasian males are the number one species, I guess, if you will.
93% of sexual abuse offenders were men. That's 93%. 57.5% were white. 16.1% were black.
Say that again. What was the percentage of Caucasian?
57.5%.
So let's say 58. We're rounding that to 58% of white Caucasians
for sexual
abuse and sexual assault.
All right.
And it was only 16% for black males.
12% were Native Americans. 11.8% were Hispanic, and 2.5% were other races.
So there you go. There you go, people. We have to stop believing the narrative that they're pushing. And, somebody told me this years ago, and I thought it was the most extraordinary thing. And he said, well, what is television? I was like, TV. He said, no. What is television? I said, it's TV. He said, television is telling lies visually. And I just stopped, and it was like, just
and it really is. And so
telling lies visually, television.
and by the way, and that's what I heard, the same thing. And I'm like, I just think you have to be careful with these narratives. People can make all kind of narratives, and they just create them. So I just kind of sent that out. I was like, man, someone, and I think it was D.L. Hughley that I heard on TikTok that was talking about the majority, instead of telling your children, your little girls, oh, y'all need to be scared of these black men. Y'all need to be really, really scared. Now they need to be scared of all of them, specifically the white ones. And the majority of the ones who deal with child pornography, 74% of them are white male. So I'm just saying, and these are just statistics, and I'm not trying to scare. I'm just simply saying a fact that, they say that a lot of things, they're coming out with Project 2025 and they're going to ban pornography. Well, let me just say that ain't really affecting us. And if you ban it now, that right there, I don't care anything about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's even an issue for anybody. But just like they tried to ban alcohol at one point, it's so much money in pornography. I don't see that ever actually happening, because you got a lot of these politicians, a lot of these extremely wealthy 1% are actually heavily involved in pornography. So I don't see that
I don't see that
them
happening.
letting it happen.
But the main thing, though, again, that you need to understand about Project 2025, and by the way, don't take my word for it. Go and read them 900 pages they got out there. And let me just go back and say, this is not something they made yesterday. The Heritage Foundation made yesterday. That's been in the works. They've got several pillars that they're attacking, and they think it's okay, and it's okay for them, but it's not okay for me. I want our community to be safe. I want children to grow up and be able to play and to have a good time and to enjoy life. That's what I want to see. That's just it. And we can't even go outside now and enjoy without, number one, I hate to say it can be like guns and violence, and then it can be like some stage mess like they got going on. I'm sick of that mess.
And it's probably going to get worse between now and the election. Ain't no telling what and I'm not just talking about Trump. Ain't no telling what Biden is going to try to do. Like, they are both, because they're so close in the polls. I think last I checked, and I could be wrong today, but the last I checked, Trump was only 4 points ahead of Biden. That's not a very huge gap. And maybe he's thinking that by doing, staging this incident, that would, widen the gap. But 4% difference is not a large difference at all.
And by the way, you can't believe the polls, because the polls lie. Because the people that what is it, like a sampling of like 1,000 people? I don't know, but it's some type of random sampling that they do. And it's supposed to represent everybody. Give me a break. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? So I just think that while we're what's the topic, child? We talking about your former president Donald Trump,
And they talking about, what else were y'all talking about just
and
then?
Project 2025
and something else.
That was
about
it.
Abusers or something.
No, we were just kind of
Crime.
tying that.
Who's
we
committing crime?
We were just tying that into
Oh, yeah.
Project 2025.
Who's committing crime?
Project 2025. Lynn, that was a hoax. But what your president did up there, put ketchup on his ear. I'm just lying. He ain't put no ketchup on his. I'm just saying. So don't y'all say Brenda Williams said it. What Brenda Williams said to this, what I said, and I want to make sure is real clear that the events were suspect. That's what I said, and that's what we've said on this show. It's all suspect. Look at these little young black men when the police come up with a gun or something, they running. None of them. I ain't never seen nobody not run and then they saw that he was shot, and they go back and they still didn't scatter. Give me a break. Give me a break. So, but that's what it was going on, Lynn. We were just talking about that. But then somebody, yes, Deb, they did die.
Are you referring to the assassination attempt on Trump, or that is that what you're asking,
Yeah,
Miss Deborah?
yeah, they did. They definitely one did, and the one behind him, girl, I'm quiet up my way. They truck
They
three.
say they did. I ain't seen them.
But you know what though? I know, Lynn, you have to be quiet. And then too, we ought to be able to talk about differences in politics and nobody get afraid. I've talked to some people that support Trump, and I'm not fearful of anything.
Hmm.
Me too, Lynn. What she said? She said,
She said, "I smell some of that Smollett stuff that was around." Y'all know she's referring to Jussie Smollett.
"Can you give me a little bit about what happened with that?"
Okay, so Jussie Smollett was one of the stars of the hit Fox show called Empire. This was probably about 10 years or so, maybe even more ago. And he was rising to fame. He was very popular on the hit show that starred Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. And he faked or staged a hate crime, said that somebody put a noose around his neck and they were yelling gay slurs
And assaulted
and
him.
racial slurs and assaulted him, etc., etc., etc. Turned out that he lied, that he made it all up. It was all staged and fake just for publicity purposes. So yeah, so that's what she means by Jussie Smollett.
And by the way, he
Now,
didn't even and he didn't even have to do it. Joseph didn't. Smollett didn't, because
right, which is what I'm saying. It's crazy because Trump is in the same situation. You didn't have to stage this whole thing because you already had the supporters. Now, not that we're Trump supporters necessarily, but you already have a massive following. There was no need to do what you did. Just as Jussie Smollett, everybody loved. If I'm not mistaken, he was the most liked character on the show,
He
which
was.
is why the show actually ended abruptly. Other than COVID, they never brought it back because when Jussie's character, they had to take him off the show, of course, pending all the legal action that was against him. The show wasn't the same without him, and they lost ratings. He was the most popular person on the show, so it didn't make sense for him to do it. Like, you're doing it for attention for what?
No, they had already said that was the last year of that show.
Yeah, but they didn't. They never finished. They never came back and finished
But
the last season.
but Linda is right, because it just smells phony. And by the way, the conversation has left. There's not a lot of people talking about the quote unquote assassination attempt. Now, if you're on the World Wide Web, what they are talking about is that it looked fake.
Hey, Deborah, you seem to have just gotten on. So here's the deal. All I'm saying is that they were there, the Secret Service and all those people. Their job is to protect the president of a candidate. They shot, quote unquote, the gunfire. They went and covered this man up, shielded him with their bodies. Then they stood him up and allowed him to be viewed by everybody, especially camera 4. So camera 4 could get an excellent shot of him pumping his fist in the air and saying, yeah, whatever he was saying. That makes no sense to me. That if you just sacrifice all of your bodies to cover him up, to keep him from getting shot, and then you stand him up and point him to a camera where he can pump his fist and everybody can clearly see his head again. You can clearly see where the red stuff was, because I don't know what it was.
Somebody said it was ketchup.
It wasn't running down. I didn't see it moving.
Right.
I just
It stayed in one
It
spot.
stayed in one spot. I didn't see it. All I'm saying is what I saw. And I just don't understand why they would expose him, stand him up. If he just got shot at, why would you stand him up and expose him to a camera so you can get a good, clean view of him? That part makes no sense.
And you know what, though?
Me.
And you know what, Johnny? Now that you say it, most people would have wiped their face.
And the other thing too, to lean into what Johnny is saying, they had not caught the shooter at this point. They hadn't caught the shooter yet. So when they stood him up and he poked his head out and was trying to do the fist, that was another clean, clear shot for the shooter to aim. And as well as when he got to the stage and he stopped at the foot of the stage, he stopped, turned his body and fist pumped again.
Yeah.
That was another clean shot. Because remember, they did not catch the shooter and shoot and kill the shooter till Trump was off the stage and in the car. So that means if it was a real assassination attempt and this dude was paid, even if he was a lone gunman, if your aim is to unalive someone,
Yeah.
your mission is going to be complete. You had ample opportunity to do it. Why didn't he shoot
It
a
made no
second
sense
or
to
a
me.
third time in order to complete his mission? It doesn't make any sense. None of it adds up. But they expect us to feel sympathy for him. I don't feel sympathy for him whatsoever.
But
I
I
do
feel
for the guy
for the
that
people
lost his life
for
and the
guy-
ones that
and
were
that's
injured.
right. And I
But
do.
again, we still do not have any physical or pictorial evidence of the other two that they say were.
But I saw the girl. I saw the girl that they took
You
off.
saw a picture?
I saw them carry her off and she was moaning. I saw that.
Okay.
And I did see that. And then I also she was. And then there was they did a
We're not being insensitive.
And
We're
then-
just
So was it due to
she
the
got
gunshots,
She
or
got
was
shot.
it?
She got shot.
Where did she get shot at?
I don't know. But I'm going to say that I do believe some people were injured and and I'm praying for them. I just really, when I say praying for their safety, I just know the people around them wasn't concerned about their safety, or if they didn't appear to be. Okay. They didn't appear to be. I have enjoyed this conversation. I don't really like to talk a lot about politics or anything like that, but I just couldn't let this day pass. I'm like, oh, we need to do an exegesis of this thing right here. We need to look at this. We need to pick it apart. And I'm like you, Emily, I did pick it apart. Somebody said, why did the camera guy go back and forth and not take cover? That's true too. The camera guy should have been scared.
Hey, can I say something different?
Sure.
Earlier today, we funeralized my Aunt Mildred Hollingshead, wife of former pastor of New Home, Kenneth Hollingshead. My Aunt Mildred Hollingshead was funeralized today. She's laid to rest at Spring Hill Baptist Church in Crawford County. We just know there are a lot of people in this community that she had a lot of interactions with. They had Sheds Pick and Pay over at Davis Homes. She had Cherry Blossom Nursing Home out there off Bloomfield. She was avid in this community, being a servant. And we just wanted to say, please extend your prayers to our family. We've been going through a bunch lately, but please know that my Aunt Mildred Hollingshead has gotten her wings, and she's in God's hands now.
Now, it's just your Aunt Mildred that you were going to the hospital to see when I was up there to see Henry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she did. I'm so well. You know what? Let me just say that it's really interesting the way you say I'm so sorry. But I'm glad that she's with God. She's not suffering.
Absolutely.
And that's really a hard thing to say when people are going through. It's like, but we need to say that that we're sorry.
Oh yeah.
But we're also glad that she is with God.
Yeah.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Because she didn't like the hospital either, did she?
She was a caregiver.
Well, that caregiving ain't no joke.
She was always taking care of people all her life. She was just a servant,
Wow.
of people. And let everybody be warned that I am not. There are going to be some changes around here. Some new sheriff in town inside of my head. I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I ain't letting nobody else get away with hurting me.
Well, you know what, Johnny, I hear you.
I meant what I just said.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna be some new game in town.
That's
We
'cause
love
we got-
y'all.
that's
See
'cause we
y'all
got
next
new teeth.
Monday.
That's
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon and